Hello everyone, it's Annie and I'm here today to make a video that I had promised you I was going to make about my favorite novellas. So I have a lot of novellas that I really like, but today, just to limit this from being like half an hour long, I'm going to talk about the ones that I actually own physically, so that way, you know, it won't be such a long video and you can get on with your lives with these recommendations. So I have a bunch, almost all of them are TOR novellas, and almost all of them are sapphic, and they are all sci-fi fantasy. So first we're going to go with The Empress of Salt and Fortune and the sequel, which is When the Tiger Came Down the Mountain. There is a third one coming out. I don't quite remember the title, but I can link it here or put the picture up, and there are going to be more. And I just absolutely love this novella series so much. It is one of my absolute favorites. It is a fantasy series that follows a non-binary cleric, and their name is Chi. And they basically are traveling around this empire that is reminiscent of Imperial China. And yeah, it is so good. It each follows different stories, and basically Chi is collecting these stories from around the empire, and the world that Nevo has built is so beautiful and lush, and just, it is amazing the amount that she has packed into these very small books. So if you have not checked out this novella series yet, I highly recommend you do. It is so worth it, and I can't wait for the third one. And those are sapphic as well, just so you know. This one is also sapphic. It is Fireheart Tiger by Aliette de Bodard. This cover is also just absolutely so gorgeous. I love it so much. This is inspired by ancient Vietnam, and it is so good. It follows Princess Tan, who was sent away as a hostage to the powerful faraway country of Ephtheria as a child. Now she's returned to her mother's imperial court, haunted not only by memories of her first romance, but by worrying magical echoes of a fire that devastated Eptheria's royal palace. So this book has some things that might not be comfortable for everyone. It does deal heavily with both familial and relationship abuse, physical abuse as well. So just be careful about that, but this is so good. Again, the world building in this for such a short book is just spectacular, and I really liked it, so highly recommend this one. So now we're going for Becky Chambers' A Psalm for the Wild-Built. I am so excited about this. I also really love Becky Chambers' other novella, To Be Taught If Fortunate, but unfortunately I don't own that one, so I wasn't gonna talk about it here. So Psalm for the Wild-Built was one of my favorite books that I read in 2021. It is just so magical. I love the world building in this. I know I've said this about every one of these novellas, but the solar punk feel of this world is just spectacular. I really like solar punk, so it was definitely up my alley. This is about a non-binary monk who is going around with their tea cart that you see here, and they sell tea and they help people basically with their problems and like give advice. And they're just such a great character. I absolutely love this trend of like non-binary main characters for little short SFF novellas. I just love that so much, and we need more of it. So they meet this robot and things go from there, and I'm getting the gist that this is going to be a series. I know that there is a second one coming out in July of this year, I believe. I already have it on pre-order, and I am getting the gist that there's going to be more. And I just really hope that we get more of their adventures traveling together. They are so cute, and I just love the history of the world that Becky Chambers got into. Again, this really short novella, the world's history in this is so interesting, and it just makes you want to read the second one so badly, so I can't wait for it. So now I have an entire series I'm going to be talking about. It starts with The Black Tides of Heaven, and then it goes with The Red Threads of Fortune, And then The Descent of Monsters, and the last edition is The Ascent to Godhood. So I'm going to hold this one up for sake of simplicity. This series is a silk punk series by Neon Young. I have the old editions of the first two books. That's why the name is different. They changed their name. They are a non-binary author, which is amazing. I really need to read more books by non-binary authors. I just love this series so much. From the very first time I read the Black Tides of Heaven, it was just look at this cover art too. Just amazing. It's by, I believe, Yuko Art. Yeah, Yuko Shimizu, Yuko Art on Instagram. Please follow them, they're amazing. But this series is so beautiful. I know that some people don't have such a high opinion of it for some reason. I don't know. But I just love it. I love the world building in this. World building, if you couldn't tell, is like one of the things that I really look for in books. So if you don't have good world building, I probably won't love it as much as I could have, but world building really puts things over the edge for me and really makes me enjoy it. And it follows two twins named Mokoya and Akeha, who are the children of the Protector and were sold to the Grand Monastery as infants. While Mokoya developed a strange prophetic gift, Akeha was always the one who could see the strings that moved adults to action. While Mokoya received visions of what would be, Akeha realized what could be. What's more, they saw the sickness at the heart of their mother's protectorate. A rebellion is growing. The machinists discover new levers to move the world every day, while the tensors fight to put them down and preserve the power of the state. Unwilling to continue as a pawn in their mother's twisted schemes, Akeha leaves the tensor behind and falls in with the rebels. But every step Akeha takes toward the machinists is a step away from Mokoya. Can Akeha find peace without shattering the bond they share with their twin? Yes, you heard that right. They also use they, them pronouns. Akeha is canonically non-binary, which is awesome. And at the time this was published, that was really, really unheard of, honestly. So thank you, TOR, for doing that. I love this. It's such a good series, really captivating. And my personal favorite one is the last one. So this follows the, I guess, antagonist, you could call her. I just love it. It is such a fun ride, and the world building, again, they have this really cool thing called the slack, which is the threads that move people that you heard in the synopsis, and it is such an interesting magic system that is just genius. So please read these books. Okay, two more. So first I want to talk about Remote Control by Nedia Korafor. This is one of her most recent releases, not the most recent, but one of them. And the synopsis that this book gives is very vague, but it really needs to be, because if anything else was given away, the entire story would be given away because it is so short. So let me read it to you. The day Fatima forgot her name, death paid a visit. From this moment on, she would be known as Sankofa, a name that meant nothing to anyone but her, the only tie to her family and her past. Her touch is death, and with a glance a town can fall, and she walks, alone except for her fox companion, searching for the object that came from the sky and gave itself to her when the meteors fell, and when she was yet unchanged, searching for answers. But is there a greater purpose for Sankofa, now that death is her constant companion? I don't know, you have to read it to find out. I mean, if you don't know by now, Nedia Korafor is one of my favorite authors. I just absolutely love her, and she's just a master at writing sci-fi. It's so good, so please pick this up. It is so worth it. But if that one didn't convince you to read Nedia Korafor, maybe this will. This is her novella series Binti, and this is the compiled omnibus version. They are novellas. There are 3 of them. I love this so much. This was the first series that I read of Nedia Korafor, and it really made her one of my favorite authors just instantly. The first one follows this girl named Binti, who is the first from her people to be accepted into this really prestigious intergalactic university. to study math, I believe, if I remember correctly. It's been many years since I read this, actually. But while she's traveling on the spaceship to this university, a jellyfish-like alien attacks, leaving her the only survivor. And they kind of have to have like a tenuous peace, and the relationship between them, her and this alien, is really interesting. And just, I don't know, Nnedi Okorafor's stories have such a distinct style and flavor to them that just no other author can give. I fell in love with this, and I think you will too. So that is all from me today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you got a little bit of some new books to read, hopefully, and please let me know down in the comments what your favorite novella is. I'd really love to know, because I really love reading novellas. So thank you so much, and like and subscribe if you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Bye!